Keb Mo happens to be one of my favorite singers and storytellers of all time. More than 50 years into a career marked by 5 Grammy wins, an American Music Association Lifetime Achievement Award, and with performances at the White House and around the world, he's very special. Keb Mo returns with his most stripped down and intimate album to date. On The Breakdown, out August 21st, via Concord Records, the LA native does something he has never done before. Strips back his recordings to just his wonderful voice, guitar, and carefully selected vocal contributions from the Soweto Gospel Choir and the Gospel Sextet, Take Six. The incredible Keb Mo joins us today on WBGO. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you, incredible Doug.
Not so much.
Oh yeah.
So this 10-song collection that you recorded at your home studio outside Nashville and written in the wake of life-saving open heart surgery in 2024 and the end of your nearly 20-year marriage and a period of profound personal upheaval. You were literally opened up by a surgeon, and you certainly open up in The Breakdown. Songs that prompted tears in this reporter's eyes, I can tell you. The lyrics of The Breakdown are powerful, emotional, and hopeful. And now that the project is about to be released, Keb Mo, what have you learned about yourself?
What have I learned about myself? Wow. Doug, you hit me hard. Well, I'm still learning, and I think the jury's in. Um, I'm always trying to learn about myself, but I'm really aiming to learn about myself and how I relate to other people. It's just like myself, just by myself, I'm just like, I'm a neutral object. But when I interact, how do I do that when I'm communicating with my fellow man, you know, and
Hmm.
people, who am I in that, who am I? Who am I really? Why do I do the things that I do? It's just, so I'm still learning. I don't know that I really know anything about myself, but I'm always open to learn. And I probably listen to other people's opinions about me are probably too much, you know,
We
rather
learn
than,
a lot about you in this album. We do indeed learn about it. So even though you might not know exactly who you are, we have a better idea about you through this album. I got to ask you, haven't seen you on stage with just your voice and guitar. This album was all I need, right? You're such an amazing storyteller. Considering the traumatic period that you experienced, was this album more difficult for you to write than previous ones?
no, it was not more difficult. Um, but I have to do one difficult moment on the record was the song called Every Step of the Way. You know, that was a song that, like I had um, that was really mostly done by Lauren Lucas. She came up with the lyric. I poured my heart out. We were trying to write this song, and I was pouring my story out because when you write with people, you have to, you kind of have to get to know each other real quick, and you can't hold back, things. You have to like really talk about life so that you can get down to the nitty gritty of the story you're trying to tell, which hopefully will inspire and help people move their lives along too as well, or give them some kind of something. So that song, Every Step of the Way, that's my favorite one on the album, and it's just like tells my whole story.
I'm not surprised because it is my favorite. I mean, it's hard with your albums to pick a favorite, but I must say, every step of the way resonates with so many. The magic of songwriting, right, is you
Yeah.
try to make it relevant to as many people as possible. Can you talk a little bit more about this song and why you are the man you are today?
Well, I'm a ever evolving being, and yesterday I was somebody else. I mean, yesterday I was a different version of myself, maybe, or maybe not yesterday, but 5 years ago. Let's say that. Who was I 5 years ago? Who am I now? Who will I be 10 years from now if I make it that long? you know. And so it's an ever evolving and ever changing uh, journey with self while you change and stay the same at the same time. Like the essence of who I am, I mean, I feel like I'm 10 years old. I feel the same way I felt when I was a little kid. You know, there's no difference than being a man of almost about to turn 75.
I
And I'm
love
like,
that because
wow.
I consider sometimes I don't realize that I'm in my mid 60s and I feel like I'm still a kid for many things. I wear all kinds of sports memorabilia all the time. People will say, "Isn't he a little old for that?" But I still do it. And I related in a minor way to what you went through with your surgery. I recently had quad tendon repair surgery. And really, to be truthful, the only thing I thought about was waking up. Make sure, will I wake up from the surgery? I don't know why that was going through my head. You went through a much more serious situation with open heart surgery, and we feel it in the Stitched Up Heart, one of the songs on this album. Something you and your younger sister know all about. Does it feel truly like a brand new start for both of you?
Well, I can't speak for her, but I know she's a very good, kind, loving, woman. She's my sister, and she's. I mean, I have three sisters, and they're all amazing. you know, and we're really close tie. We're like those are my all my siblings. Three sisters. I'm the only boy, and we're all raised by a single mother who went through her own changes trying to raise us, and she successfully raised four kids. That's me and my three sisters, and we are always very grateful for her and very remain a very close family.
My lady Rose and I, we went to the Serpent Festival, and you played the night before in New York, but you were not there. Was that when you started to feel a shortness of breath during that tour
The Serpent Festival.
with Slash?
Oh no, that's I probably wasn't on that date.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it was when you were playing with Slash, though, that you started to feel a shortness of breath, right?
it was before that.
Oh, it was before that. Okay.
Yeah, I was in South Africa and I started to feel it,
Mm,
and I went. Yeah, man, I was crazy.
wow.
I was out. I thought I was having some kind of lung. I don't know. Heart heart failure never occurred to me. You know,
In
because
that
I was in.
tune, you mention, that your life is in the hands of this surgeon, this
Yeah.
operator, right?
Mhm.
Did you have the same kind of trepidation that I had that, hey, I might not wake up from this?
Well, I guess I always have that every day.
Hmm.
I always have, I don't know if I'm going to wake up in the morning. Every time I wake up and every time I breathe some air and all my limbs feel good and everything, I just go, I'm very grateful. Everything's working. I mean, um, because it doesn't have to. I
Mhm.
mean, in any given way, I mean, look at all these earthquakes that are happening around the world, and every time I hear about one, I go, wow. And I'm from Los Angeles, so earthquakes are very, you know,
Can happen.
a real thing. I've sat through a few of them,
Wow.
you know,
You
but
mentioned your trip to South Africa, so let's go there. Trip to Johannesburg 4 years ago, before your surgery, led to Hand It Over on this album with the Suedo Gospel Choir. Were you waiting
yes,
just for the right moment then to put this into an album?
yes, I guess that describes it pretty good. I had the arrangement. I didn't know um, what to do with it. I didn't know whether they wanted to do something with it or I was going to do something with it. I didn't know, but I guess um, uh, it came up this record, and I saw that I said that's perfect for this record. Yeah, that
Yeah.
rendition of Hand It Over, and it's just like, and along with it, it teams up with the song that's right next to it, which is Walking on Water. You know, both having a kind of a spiritual context to them, a metaphoric, you know, kind of thing, or a ecclesiastic kind of vibe, but not really. You know,
You've always been a man of faith, though, right?
yeah, faith. Not necessarily any denomination. I was um, I was raised in the Baptist church, but I just went there for the music. I just wanted to hear the music, and my mother made me go. But when I heard the music, I was always in with the music, you know.
Yeah.
um, and I also was a practice of Buddhism for like 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
like steady, really my choice, you know, my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I found about I started to read and recognize that all the great sages that were speaking, you know, about spirituality and how life works were saying the same thing. There wasn't much difference between what, you know, Jesus was saying, what they were saying, and what they were saying in the Tao. You know,
Yeah, it's
you know,
interesting that you bring that up because you, in this album, you are very reflective. And when I took a Buddhism class at Penn State many, many, many years ago, of course, we had to, we had to reflect and we had to just be quiet and think about things. And it really, even though you're supposed to at times think of nothing, you start to think of things that matter to you. And I think that's what happened to you in this album. And also, not just what has happened to you, but the nation itself, what has happened with the nation. And the first single that you released was Fussin' and Fighting. And that certainly is could be used to talk about the nation as well. What's driving Keb Mo crazy?
what's driving me crazy right now is, well, politics drives me crazy. Um, uh, because you know, in a democracy or a socialist dictator government, you know, either way it goes, our leaders are supposed to um, have our best interest at heart of the whole, the nation. And I don't know that they always do, you know, and at any time you could take sides with people. You know, it's like you take sides with looking at a Trump or Netanyahu, you know, who like these guys look like, you know, they're not, you know, whatever. But, you know, from their standpoint, I just wonder how it looks to them. You know, I don't think they believe they're doing anything harmful. I think they believe they're helping,
We
you
are
know.
so divided as a country right now.
You know,
How much does that bother you?
it bothers me a lot because it's not our doing, so to speak. You know, I think we've allowed ourselves to be manipulated into that space of you know, left to right and not agreeing. When there's so much to be, you know, everybody, people say it all the time. There's so much we have in common, way more than you know, than just a few things like whether you are for or against abortion. Not that that's a small issue; that's a big issue. But I don't think anyone's for abortion. You know, maybe the right to, you know, have one is what people are fighting about, but I don't think anyone's for it. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm
And
not for it. I'm not, but the right to have it, that's a whole other can of worms. But the commonality is that, you know, when a child is conceived, of course we all want to see that child be born, you know. And there's circumstances where people choose not to because of whatever reason. But then you look at why do they choose not to, and it's some kind of divide in the society. It's some kind of like judgment. Well, if I have a baby, when a young woman gets pregnant, I can't go to college. If I'm pregnant, I got to take care of this. You know what I mean? It's all this. There's no support for that birth to happen. You know, it's just like you're too young. Well, probably not. Well, yeah, you're probably too young, but if you're gonna have one, you're gonna have one.
yeah, it's such a difficult choice that
It's
is,
difficult.
that has, been controversial for so
Yeah.
many years. On a much brighter note, when you're on a blues cruise, you get to not only share your great music with fans and those who are our guests, but There could be collaborations that develop, such as the case in You and Take Six on this song. They don't
Yeah.
make them like they used to. Tell us about this song in Take Six.
Well, I've encountered Take Six several times, and we always talked about something and doing something together. And we were on the Chris Bodie cruise, uh, uh, and those guys are tight. They always have breakfast in the morning together. You see them they're all sitting together, like hanging. They're like a mob. They're like a six-headed like singing monster or something. It's like like they got one body. So I said, let's do an album. Maybe we could do an album. They said, yeah, they were all down. Yeah, okay. So I guess when "Don't Make It Like They Used to" came up, I thought there we go. I'm gonna call up Take Six.
Yeah.
See
And
what's
and that
going
that
on,
has a
boy.
pretty strong message to it too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that message. It's like it's grandma telling a young man about, you know, you missed it, buddy. Am I going to be able to find a woman that can cook like you? Said, well,
Gonna have to learn to cook yourself,
and
whether you like to or not.
it's a wake up for men and a tribute to women and their quest for equality uh, and to be recognized not as just you know a cook or a cleaning, which has long been done already, but it's reaffirming that I think reaffirming that the women are powerful and you know they're not going to be running, cleaning, cooking and cleaning up after you.
And speaking of music, they're headlining more jazz festivals and blues festivals than the men these days.
Yeah, I haven't counted, but that sounds about right. The
So you mentioned grandma. So let's go back to the early days. What was the first song that Kevin Moore ever wrote?
first song I wrote, oh God, it's in my scrapbook.
Hmm.
Uh,
And where's that
uh,
scrapbook at now?
it's somewhere around here, and it was a scrapbook, and all they're in it are my old baseball cards that are worth a fortune now that I glued to the paper.
Oh no. You're not but you know what? We didn't know at that time, did we? We didn't know.
Yeah,
That's why
no,
they're expensive
yeah,
now.
yeah. I got like a Willie Mays in there glued to the,
I
you
know.
know.
I had a Dr. J card that I also had put up on the wall, and so it's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
But
Right? And then you
anyway,
find,
but in that book is a song, a little verse that I read. Started writing a song called "It's Incredible." You know what I mean?
and what was that? What
It's
was
a
that
love
about?
song. It's incredible that you don't love me. So there's things like that. And I had a verse and I wrote it, and it didn't even rhyme. It was just like a little. Trying to write a song. I was probably 10. You know.
Was there a young gal you were trying to impress at the time that
No, I was just listening to the songs of they were all about love. You
yeah.
know. Like being in love or being left or being whatever. And I just, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, no, I didn't know.
Even though you've gone through, trials and tribulations, there's still a message of love in this album.
Yeah, of course.
Makes the
Yeah.
world go round, right?
For my trials and
All around
tribulations.
the world, by the way, which is one of my favorite tunes.
Taj Mo, I love that song. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of that collaboration, it's been so successful. How has he been as you've been recovering?
He's been great. He keeps trucking along. You know, we're about 9.5 years apart in age. And that's so we're about to go out in September. We're going to go out for the Taj Mo tour, and we're going to start in Seattle, Washington, and I'm really looking forward to it because that's wow.
You just
You
came
know,
off a world tour this past summer, and
I did it's a European tour.
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's the world. That's the world.
other
London,
other
Switzerland.
other parts of the world.
You
And
know,
there's this
you
whole thing, South
that
America, Asia, there's
okay.
Eastern Europe, there's like, boy, there's like Australia. Ooh, man,
Are the audience
Africa, just, I mean, just, whoa, Middle East, I have,
do the audience receive your music differently on this European tour?
no, they were pretty much the same. They were there. I mean, like, it was good. I don't know why, but I played in Singapore before. I played in Japan, where the language barrier is can be pretty deep, But in Singapore, there was no hardly any language barrier there. But mostly, you're playing in places where people have somewhat of a grasp of the English language, you know.
Now, during this tour, you have to be in great shape to sing and play. So you have to be feeling pretty comfortable now with this surgery behind you that you were able to handle, such an extensive tour.
Uh, well, the heart surgery that I had was based on a hereditary condition. I've always taken pretty good care of myself and strong enough to do things like that. So once I recovered from the heart surgery, everything kind of came back. Matter of fact, I just went to the gym today because I've been kind of sitting around. Got with my trainer and okay, we got to get started again. you know, because I'm not all the way back yet, but I can do a show. But
Yeah.
it's better when you're really in shape, you're not unencumbered. I did some shows that were I probably have to go back and apologize for
I
4 years
truly
ago.
doubt that. One of my favorite lines, believe it or not, in this very personal album is give me more ice cream. I mean, I love ice cream. So those little lines that you
Yeah.
throw in your songwriting, like
Mhm.
pay my deductible, right? And with this,
Yeah.
I catch all those and I appreciate those. Tell
Yeah.
me about give me more ice cream. Are you an ice cream fan?
Well, no, I like ice cream, but I'm kind of a little bit lactose intolerant. But
Well, me
I,
too.
I, I like ice cream. But the point of that song is, you know, live life. Give me
More
more.
yesterdays is the tune.
People say like a lot of times they'll ask like an old person on their deathbed or something where, well, if you could do it all over again, what would you have done different? And a lot of times they say, I'd have had more ice cream.
Yeah.
you
Right?
know,
Is there
you
something
know.
that as you were reflecting back on, maybe, maybe you weren't going to make it. Is there something that you haven't done that you have wanted to do yet that's ahead of Kevin Moore?
I've done more than I ever thought I'd ever do already, and I'm trying to think of things that
Mhm.
I can do because I mean I outdreamed my dreams. You know.
You mentioned in that song too, Lighten Up. You like to laugh. I know you like to laugh because
Oh yeah.
I've seen you perform and it does get us through the tough times, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, not taking things too seriously because they're things are gonna change, and like song like it's funny some the old me better, like you know, I like the old me better. I was a lot more fun. That thing
As I
didn't take
mentioned,
crap, didn't take crap from anyone.
as I mentioned, seeing you perform just with you and your guitar, and that's all I need to hear. It's true, it's real, and I think you made the right choice by just stripping it down so everyone can see what you do when you come solo on tour, because it is magical. I've spoken to my lady Rose about this. I don't know what it is about your voice, but you make me smile, you make me cry, and you make me just feel alive. What is it about Keb Mo that makes Doug and the rest of us enjoy. What do you think?
Well, I think the only thing I can attribute to is I made a deal with God, you know, to serve, you know, to like help me be of service in what I do. Help me have a reason to, you know, and to do something that's helpful, you know. And I think I've had a lot of friends. I always think like some of the people that I played with that have passed on before me. Like I had a good friend named Ray a long time ago. He passed at 40, had a heart attack, fell out the bed in the middle of the night and died. I was shocked, you know. But he was such a magnificent singer, bass player, you know, Ray Cooksey. And he was just an amazing singer, bass player. And I think, you know, some people that leave you like things in their will, they leave you, how do you say, like so maybe some money or maybe a painting you liked or, you know, something that, you know, that they want you to have. And I think people, when they pass on, they leave other gifts too, not just things, but, you know, ways of communicating, ways about them. They leave all that stuff behind. Yeah.
So last question. You and your sister get to go back in time and to see a performer. Who would it be? When would it be? And why would it be?
I don't know. She has quirky taste like I do too. Like, you know, we would probably go see Tuck and Patty.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's one of Dave Hopkins' favorites, along with you, and I enjoyed his interview with you
Mm-hmm.
recently. And you have similar tastes
Yeah.
to Dave there when it comes to. Is there an artist from the past that you wouldn't have had a chance to see that you would want to go and experience?
Wow. No, I saw Ray Charles.
Mm,
uh, um, I'm kind of happy hearing him on the record.
hmm
I mean, if I like, I saw Tony Bennett, you know, um, Jimi Hendrix.
There you go. Yeah. What a, what a good one to pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
almost saw him, and me and my cousin were there at in Northridge, California, the festival he was playing. And it took so long from there. He was supposed to come on. I think he was come on late or something. And we were like young and stupid. I think we left. We left. It's taking too long.
Right?
You know,
Young and stupid. That's all it was. Right?
yeah, it's taking too long.
Well,
And we just said was important to us. I mean, but then again, maybe that would have changed. That would have done something to me that, you know what I mean? I mean, I had already seen Taj Mahal, you know, so I guess, you know,
yeah, I
like
loved
that.
in the interview that you did with Dave for us on WBGO in 2024 when
Mm.
you made the comment. I can still hear the cadence in your voice when Taj said, would you want to record together? And you went, okay. You said, I thought about it for a second and okay.
Okay, yeah,
You,
yes,
you darn right.
yeah.
Well,
Let's just go like, yeah.
if you love that collaboration, you're going to love Keb Mo Stripped Down in The Breakdown. It is out August 21st on Concord Records. It is special. It is one that will take you through a gamut of emotions, and it will make you reflect on your own life. I guarantee you that. Kevin Moore, Keb
Amen.
Mo, thank you for doing what you do the best, stripping it all down and letting us hear you just be yourself. We
Th-
appreciate it, and thanks for
Thank you,
joining
sir.
us.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Great talking to you, and God bless. Thank you, man. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right.